So these really caught my attention this summer while I was traveling in Europe. And you know, I love me some different and interesting designs and different brands. I kind of want to venture out and see what else is out there. So I was really curious to see these, and one particular element about these really made me go and get them, and we're gonna check them out today. Hey guys, welcome back to Kicks Business channel. Today we're looking at the Sprandi's Earth Gear. I guess this is how you pronounce it, Sprandi? I would assume, but yeah, hopefully I'm right. Sold these in Europe for about 30 euros, which will be like $35 here. They had some interesting elements about them. They reminded me a lot of shoes that I know in the past, and you're probably gonna know them as well. If you kind of look at the design, you will sort of recognize some design cues from Morel. You're gonna sort of recognize some design cues from Solomon. So maybe they borrowed some of those ideas, but they also added some things over here on their own that I really like. So there's two different colorways. This is the brown one and there's the black one, and I think the brown one looks a little bit better because the midsole is white with kind of a light brown in the back, where the black one is almost entirely black and not really standing out too much. But I really like these. And now those of you that really know your Nikes from back in the day, you will instantly recognize the element that I was talking about at the beginning, and this is right on the front of the toe box. You'll recognize it right away, and this is exactly what they reminded me of. Nike's Air Trainer Max from 1996. This is one of the elements that made me grab these right away. I saw them on the shelf and I was like, wait a minute, this is exactly like the Air Max from 96. I really wanted to get me one of those back in the day. I never had them. One of my best friends actually had them in a similar colorway. They were entirely black with orange stitching and orange air units. Kind of a rare one. You don't see them on pictures too much, even on the internet these days. But this is what reminded me of. And then I read some of the specs of this shoe because there was not a lot of information online. Luckily, they put a very nice tags with a ton of information, and it says waterproofing. They have some of their own technology for waterproofing here. Excellent. I'm always on the lookout for fall/winter shoes that have some waterproofing for rain, snow, and stuff like that. So these fit the profile. And furthermore, they have some more tags here per usual for a lot of sneakers in Europe. You will see, well, not only with the sizing, but the price in different countries around the European Union, the materials used here. And speaking of materials, we're looking at all synthetics with some synthetic overlays for reinforcement. Toe box, kind of a ballistic mesh looking all around as well. And again, overlaid with for extra support and extra protection. But speaking of protection, let me go back to that toe box and that toe. I mean, honestly, love that element. This is if you're really using for hiking or walking outside in the woods, maybe in some trails, you're gonna love that protection, because if you kick a sharp rock or some branch, I've seen crazier things when you kick a branch and goes through your sneaker. This will protect your toes almost 100% because how well reinforced it is. Midsole, they're using some kind of a EVA, pretty soft actually. I'm surprised how soft it is. And they're very comfortable, even on feet. You put them on feet. I walked around the store initially when I tried them on, and outside of the collar and the element in the front, comfort was great. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. For 30 euros, why not? Again, super cheap price compared to similar high-level brands. Honestly, Morel, Solomon, some of these that I mentioned, you were looking at over $100 at least, 120, 150, even more, when we talk about the higher level models. No laces here. We have bungees, which are elastic bungees. You just pull and kind of clip them on top. Love that kind of lacing system. A lot of these hiking/outdoor shoes have similar lacing systems. Actual shoe tree, not just some bunched up paper inside. And as a lace loops, we have only these 1, 2, 3 on each side, plus a regular lace hole penetration. On the bottom, they're actually like these bungees that the lacing system is going through. And of course, tongue holder in the middle. Tongue obviously is held or stitched in with the inner liner almost to the top, so no water will come through it. And if you see inside, you will see the membrane their own one that is not specified. It's not Tinsulate, it's not any of the fancy ones, it's not obviously Gore-Tex, but their own membrane that is protecting you from the water. And as long as you're not submerging your whole foot in the water, I think you'll be completely fine. Out in the rain, walking in kind of wet conditions, you'll be completely fine. Not much information on label inside other than the materials used and the name Sprandi Earth Gear with a little logo, style, and then the size, of course. And padding around the heel is pretty significant. The pull tab is kind of minuscule though. You can't really, if you have thicker fingers than mine, you won't even be able to put your finger through and pull. But they're not hard to put on, that is for sure. Branding on the lateral side plus the logo. Again, the logo kind of reminds me of some of these other brands I was talking about earlier. The heel is reinforced. We have regular plastic cup on the inside, and you'll notice that the outsole plus the midsole on the heel going outwards, forming a little bit more stability for your foot. And if I pull the insole out, the insole very reminiscent to Ortholite, especially the green Ortholite. Now on the sides and on the specs, there's nowhere mentioned Ortholite, but it's probably similar foam technology that is absorbing the moisture. Well designed insole, can't really complain about that, and branding right on top of it where the heel is. And if we peek inside without the insole, you'll see how the membrane is meeting right in the middle on top of the stroll board where is stitched in. So yeah, extra protection here for water again. You'll see them on feet. Luckily for me today, or at least luckily for the video, it's raining, so I can use them outside and walk around and see. And I don't see any issues, even with me pouring some water on top of them. The water never goes through the membrane, never goes through inside to your foot. So I think these are pretty cool. I mean, honestly, if you live in Europe, if you don't want to spend a ton of money on some of those expensive brands that I mentioned, or other ones that are tons of them out there, you can just grab yourself one of those and throw them on your feet. Actually, it looks great, even with jeans. I see myself wearing these during the winter time when it's a little bit colder and rainy without any problem. Outsole, pretty beastly. We have these kind of chunks simulating rock chunks or something, which are protruding from the bottom about 2 millimeters to about 2.5 millimeters. They're spread around throughout the whole outsole, completely blacked out outsole, but they grip the ground pretty nicely. I see no problems with slippage and stuff like that, so you won't have any issues. And the pull tab on the ton actually is a lot larger than the one on the heel. Then this is where you can see the branding as well. So overall, I really like this model. I'm really surprised how well they're made, really surprised about the price. They're super comfortable. They're not gonna break the bank. I mean, honestly, again, for 30 euros or $35, they're a great buy. I wish they sell them here. I think a ton of people will go and buy them based on the specs and the looks, and for that price, yeah, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos coming very, very soon. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day.